What is Solana? With the speed with which the crypto world is advancing, we are being introduced to a new project every now and then. But recently, the name-making buzz in the crypto circles is Solana. Surprisingly, it is being called the rival to Ethereum. If you feel like the word, Solana just rang some bells in your mind. That is because on 16 December 2021, the then First Lady of the United States, Melania Trump, announced her plans to use Solana to launch an NFT. Welcome back, guys, and hope you are doing amazing. If your mind goes blank whenever you hear Solana, no worries then, because in this video, we will be taking you on a ride about what Solana is, how does it work, and what its potential is. Solana is a web-scale blockchain designed to deliver fast, secure, scalable, decentralized apps and marketplaces. Yes, all three. It rose to fame because people were searching for alternatives to Ethereum. Mind you, Ethereum is the second largest cryptocurrency globally, which is why it is suffering from extreme congestion of the network. Among such circumstances, people readily clung to Solana. Like Ethereum, it is very fluid because it is both a cryptocurrency and a platform for running crypto applications. The origin of Solana. Solana is the brainchild of Anatoly Yakovenko, and his name has been attached professionally to various big platforms. He started his journey at Qualcomm, specializing in providing wireless technology services. Later on, he was recruited as a professional engineer at Dropbox. In 2017, Yakovenko started working on a project that would later be called Solana. He teamed up with his Qualcomm colleague. Together, they founded Solana Labs. Originally, Yakovenko published a white paper about Solana where he envisioned building a network based on proof of history rather than proof of work or proof of stake. Hold on for a moment, guys, because I will be talking about these important terminologies later in the video. The blockchain trilemma. Before diving deep into the technology behind Solana, I would first like to give a brief review of the blockchain trilemma. This term was first described by Ethereum's founder. Imagine an equilateral triangle with decentralization, security, and scalability at each corner. This belief holds that you can maximize only two of these features at the expense of one. Let us say if you have strong security and scalability, the system's decentralization will be compromised. The system's working is not that heavenly to bless you with the best of the three worlds. But Solana wants to tell us another story because it claims that it has transcended beyond this blockchain trilemma. It offers you a complete package, highly decentralized, highly secure, and highly scalable. Now, what is the recipe behind Solana's perfectly cooked meal? It is a new consensus mechanism in the crypto world called proof of history. Proof of history. Guys, before explaining what proof of history is, I have to touch on the traditional blockchain mechanisms, which are proof of work and proof of stake slightly, so we can have a mild idea why this new working model was needed. Proof of work. In proof of work, many computers compete to solve complex mathematical puzzles for this process to happen. The computer with the best hardware and the fastest connections wins this race. This process is called mining. But all this competition leads to a higher time required to add new blocks, and ultimately, there are few transactions per second. Bitcoin takes 10 minutes to add a new block to give you a rough estimate. Yes, fellas, you heard me right. The king is a bit slow. Proof of stake. Now, in looking at proof of stake, the algorithm chooses transaction validators based on the number of coins you have committed to staking. So this means there is no fierce competition because the more cryptocurrency someone has, the more power they have. The validator chosen has to verify the accuracy of the transaction made. If so, they add the block to the blockchain and receive crypto rewards for their contribution. Now, it significantly improved the transactions per second for Ethereum, as it jumped to about 100,000 transactions per second. But what about the time required for adding a new block? It just lowered to 12 seconds from 15 seconds. It is just like waiting 12 seconds just for your text to be sent. The frustration is real, man. The primary reason behind this shortcoming is timekeeping, and that is what proof of history targets. Proof of history. We know we are talking about the decentralized financial system here. Now, the problem lies in the fact that due to the absence of any central authority, there is mismatching of the time between different nodes, which is a technical term for a computer. As a result, everyone verifies a transaction at different times, and hence, greater the time to add a block. Proof of history is proof for verifying sequence and passage of time between events, and it is used to encode trustless passage of time into a ledger. Imagine you just combed your hair and need another person to verify it. Now, instead of sending the whole video of the process, you send photos of the process at an interval of 3 seconds, and now that other person verifies your action by arranging the photos themselves. This very principle is utilized by the proof of history. Of course, I oversimplify that for you. And this all creates a precise idea of time. Basically, what Solana does is that it uses the SHA-256 hash function. It takes the output of a function and then re-enters into the system as an input, and hence order of transaction is generated. This order of transactions must be verified by the validator, thus ceasing the need for a timestamp. This trick does magical wonders. It brought down the time to add blocks to just 0.4 seconds. Meanwhile, the transactions per second jumped to 65,000. On the other hand, Ethereum takes 5 minutes to add 35 blocks. Another benefit of Solana is its meager transaction fee, which is $0.001. Like you can add 100,000 transactions just for $1. Meanwhile, Ethereum costs around $15 per transaction. When it comes to staking, in Ethereum you need 32 Ethereum to be a validator, but Solana offers anyone holding its token to take part in staking. At present, its validators are around 900. Ethereum got around 11,000 validators. In the case of Solana, we have to wait and watch how much the system can accommodate. SOL. SOL is the token for the Solana network. When this video is made, 1 Solana equals to $106. There are currently over 315 million SOL coins in circulation, with a total supply of over 511 million. Sadly, approximately 50% of Solana's initial token allocation went to the inner circle, like venture capital firms. Only a fractional amount is allocated for the public. Its token has 2 uses. First, it is used as a fee for running smart contracts and doing transactions. Secondly, they can be used for staking. Other than that, the Solana network can also be used to issue other new tokens. Both fungible and non-fungible tokens of many kinds can be created using the Solana program library. For instance, Stephen Curry, the NBA player, issued the first ever NFT on the Solana network. Not only that, but the political world is also reaping the benefits as congressional candidate Shrina Karani dropped around 2,000 Solana NFTs as a part of her campaign. Disadvantages. The world is not a physics numerical problem where the ideal conditions are met. The picture painted by the Solana founders is not this clear. The system does have some fallacies. Theoretically, Solana claims that it can handle up to 710,000 tokens per second. September 2021 showed another side of the coin when Solana had to face an outage after being confronted with 410,000 tokens per second because of bot invasion. Consequently, it had to be shut down for hours. Maybe it is because Solana is still in its beta status and needs time to reach its full potential. Only a few months after this bot attack, Solana was again in hot waters. This time, the chief investment officer of the crypto fund manager Cyber Capital, Justin Bonds, accused Solana of creating millions of new tokens. He stated a long series of lies, fraud, and deception by the Sol network. Several concerns have also been raised about the endangered decentralization of the Sol network. As I said before, half of the Sol tokens were issued to venture capitalist firms, so this makes the system somehow prone to centralization. But since these very firms are responsible for backing up Solana, it seems like these insiders are an unfortunate necessity. Besides that, there are speculations that the new version of Ethereum, Ethereum 2.0, might bestow the users the same advantages they are shifting to Solana. So guys, that's all I had for today. Hope you enjoyed this video. Do share your thoughts in the comments section. And don't forget to subscribe and click the bell icon so you don't miss out on future content. Goodbye till the next video.